These are some thoughts that came into my brain right before I fell asleep last night. Now, I am a very confident person. I have grown confidence over the years. I don't care about a lot of shit that I used to care about. And I've truly stepped into my purpose of what I believe my life should be as of right now. Because, that's an ever changing thing. However, just because you see somebody exuding confidence on the internet and showing um that they know who they are, that doesn't mean these type of thoughts don't come up. And I believe certain thoughts come up because it shows you subconsciously what you still have inside you from a previous season in life. And it's important to say these thoughts out loud or write them down and understand that this is still inside you, because in order for you to have confidence, you have had to you knew insecurity. Everyone who has any type of confidence has been insecure at least one time in their life, and I'm pretty sure it was way more than one time. So these are some of the thoughts. I'm not perfect. I couldn't care less. I'm gonna explain these. I'm not perfect. I'm gonna just say them first. I'm not perfect. I couldn't care less. I simply want to create and get paid. I can't stick to one thing. My life has hit a dip. I feel like I can't do this. I know I'm amazing, but why do I feel like shit? The voices are telling me stop going against myself. My feelings matter. I feel so motivated and bloop. I feel like, why am I here? All of those. Now, even when it comes to thoughts, a lot of thoughts are not your thoughts. And okay, no thought is your thought in that regard. No thought is your thought. Every thought you have, you are not the thought. The thought is something that comes into your brain and passes. And when it comes to even just embodying your true self, you need to know that you're not the thoughts. So you could think something and just not act on it. You know how many thoughts we have every single day and we don't act on it? Why? Because those are not our thoughts. Those are just thoughts that came into your brain. And when it comes to even these thoughts, I knew where it came from. These are a part of me that I've already let go a long time ago, but these parts of you will always try to come back and like kind of, I see it as test, because again, with every action there's an equal reaction. So every time you push yourself out your comfort zone and you push yourself to be a better person, you pushing yourself, you pushing yourself, you pushing yourself, you pushing yourself, you push down these thoughts that used to be there. And when you push down these thoughts that used to be there, energy doesn't get destroyed, it just gets remade and replaced. So when it comes to energy, these thoughts are still energy. And when it comes to these thoughts, just because you believe like, this is not me anymore, I'm a new person, that's not true. This is still you. This is still a part of who you used to think you were. So when it comes to that, you have to observe these thoughts and be like, yo, this isn't me that I used to be, but it doesn't resonate with me no more. And you don't take the thoughts and internalize them and let you bring you down, and like, you take those thoughts and you I wrote them down because I'm pretty sure a lot of people see me and they think, yo, like, she has no care in the world, and she just does what she wants. And in a sense, yes, that's who I've built myself to be. However, these type of thoughts still come up. So when it comes to you and you're rebuilding your life and you're telling yourself like, no, I want to be this and that is who you are, because it wouldn't come in your brain if that wasn't the person you were supposed to be. And it wouldn't, I'm not going to say that because, thoughts of hurting and harming yourself and other people can come in your brain. That's not who you're supposed to be. But I'm saying when it comes to thoughts of like just coming back to yourself and being better and like, yo, I actually want this, I don't want that, and you're actively moving towards that, these type of thoughts will always come up. Zendaya, when she goes on the red carpet, you can see that she vogues, mogs, does the thing. However, you don't see the thoughts behind those things. Am I doing this correctly? Oh my gosh, like, I hope I didn't fuck that up, blah, da. Those thoughts always come up no matter what stage you are. And you can think, bro, you're Zendaya, you know you're that girl. But it doesn't mean she's any less of a human. So when it comes to thoughts, you just observe them and be like, yo, this is because at the end of the day, even Zendaya, I'm pretty sure when she was younger, she knew she had all these talents, but she didn't know how it was going to translate and how she was going to become who she was going to become, especially with how the world was treating her, with how different circumstances in her life panned out at one point, and then now she's this, but you still remember who you were. And not only you, but your subconscious and your body, because all your past emotions and your everything is still in your body. So I think when it comes up, this is a video to say, like, don't look at the thoughts as something as a negative. Think of them as something that's positive, because that means if you're able to look at these thoughts and be like, yo, that's not me no more, and I accept that that used to be me, but I don't resonate with that no more, and I know that this is just what comes with the game. I think when you're able to do that, then you level up like 10 times more than trying to suppress it and kind of being down on yourself, or wallowing in it, and like kind of being like a, oh my gosh, like, what if I can't do this, or what if I it's like, bro, none of it matters. So why do you care about what ifs? What if you do it? So just do it. What if, like, I'm gonna explain these thoughts in general. Like when it comes to even I couldn't care less. That was coming from a, I don't care about this vanity shit. I like nice things. I do. I love nice things, but I don't care about doing certain things to get those nice things. I simply want to create and get paid because that's my true desires. My true desire in life is just be myself and not have to worry about being in survival mode. I can't stick to one thing because that's just who I am as a person. I know there's other people like me who just, I don't know if it's ADHD brain. You have just ADHD brain. You just, oh, shiny things. Oh, I want to do everything, because I think at the core, if you're connected to your inner child, that's what a child wants. Like, just because you're an adult, that doesn't mean all of those childlike desires just go away. My life has hit a dip. That is a thought that I believe, maybe it was, again, when it comes to even just these thoughts, though, this is your subconscious kind of forming conclusions based off of what it sees, I believe. So even with that, I don't believe my life has hit a dip. I believe this is the best part. This is the best time ever. And this has been the greatest time ever in my life, because I actually started fresh and I'm starting from scratch, in a sense of I have peace, like true peace, to do whatever I need to do. But on the outwards, it can seem like, yo, like, what am I doing to who I used to be? If that makes sense. It's really you against you. Like, it's really crazy. Once you really realize that, you realize, yo, like, I'm unstoppable. I could do anything. But you have to understand how to maneuver with these when these type of things arise. Because this was right before sleep too. Right before. And in the quiet. I feel like I can't do this. Again, it's all how you frame it. Because I could have told myself, like, yo, I know I can do this, so why is this coming up? Maybe I can't. Oh my gosh, what's going on? Why am I thinking these things? But I didn't. I just looked at it. I was like, oh shit. And I just allowed myself to just freeball, and I wrote it down. Um, um, I feel like I can't do this. It's a thing of, again, your previous self kind of taking what it saw, because again, your mind and your memory has a purpose. Your memory is there so you can remember what not to do, and you can move. That's part of evolution, so where you can move through life better than you did yesterday. So when it comes to that, your mind is always going to look at the past experiences, especially when you haven't reached what you thought you would be at in that moment, and it's going to be like, yo, can I do this? And even if you did, that's why when Kai Cenat went on his hiatus, people thought, you're Kai Cenat, why do you think you can't run this clothing brand? But he probably was going through the same exact shit, because no matter what level of status you reach, there will always be something that comes into you like, yo, what if I can't do this? What if this fails? La di da. And failure is not a bad thing, it's just a lesson. So even if you couldn't do it, which I believe anybody can do anything, as long as you just take the lesson and then rework it. But even if you couldn't do it and you failed, so what? Donald Trump was bankrupt 3 times. This nigga is still the president. Imagine that. And he's still rich as fuck. Like, so what? I feel amazing. I know I'm amazing, but there should be no but. Again, these are just all things that's kind of trying to bring you back to the person. And I don't even think it's trying to. This is where people take it negatively. I keep kind of contradicting myself, but just keep up. I don't even think these thoughts try to bring you back to the person you were. That's spiritual talk. Like, no, I think these type of thoughts come to reinforce the person that you say you are. So when it comes to you wanting to do all these things, okay, here's some thoughts. Let's see how you do with this. Are you really the person you say you are? And I think, again, once you really understand that and you see it as a test, you fool me once, you can't fool me again. The voices are telling me to stop going against myself. That is one of the realer thoughts of the voices is my brain and my body and my intuition is telling me stop going against myself, in a sense of stop doing things that you know you don't want to do just because you want a certain outcome. And I thought I kind of stopped that. But again, I'm still human, so where, like, I'm probably still doing stuff that I thought again, just stop going against yourself. Like, that's it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. If you want to do it and you do it once and it does good and you just don't care to do it again and replicate those results, don't do it again. Like, so what? My feelings matter. And through that, I believe that was a thought of like, yo, like, your feelings matter no matter what. Like, in a sense of like, if you don't want to do it, it doesn't matter what other people want you to do. Don't do it. Like, people will try to guilt you, do this, do that. Don't do it. Your feelings matter. And again, I'm explaining these, but these were just random. But I feel like these are the things, these are kind of what it really was. Like, this is what they translate to. I feel so motivated than bloop. That's my ADHD. Again, I don't know what it was when I was laying down, but that's literally like all of that stuff. I'm not even gonna go through the rest. Oh wait, that's like the last one. I feel like, why am I here? I have these existential crises, like every once in a while, to where now I've already, like, kind of internalized it and been like, yo, like, I'm here for a purpose, no matter, even if in the end it doesn't fucking matter. So what? I'm still here, so I might as well do something about it. Like, but those things will come up because it's like, okay, you're doing all this, you're setting this world up for the stash, you have so many hundreds of connected pieces that you've been doing for over a year. What does it amount to? Why is it important? And I think even when it comes to life, you can say that about anything. However, it's important because you're here and you're doing it. That's it. That's all you need to know. You don't need to know why. You just need to know you're here and it's being done, and this is the only thing you can technically do in this life other than going and work and making money and, like, doing it in another way. But you're here, so just do it. Like, you got the idea. Clearly, you got it for a reason, and another person could get this idea and not execute on it at all. So you'll be the change. You'll be the one to do that. And I think, again, these thoughts come up to test you. It's nothing more than a test. Everything in life is a test to who you say you want to be and who you say you are. If you say you're this loyal man or woman and then you go out and cheat, are you that person? You're not. Now, does that make you an inherently bad person? Some people would say yes. I see it as, okay, are you going to change that about yourself? Are you going to become the person you say you are? Or are you going to live a life of delusion? That's it. Like, because anything you do has nothing to do with the next person. Again, you're hurting people and you're doing this and you're doing that. Cool, but it's all a test of who you say you are. That's literally what every experience is. It's a test and consequence of who you claim to be and who you want to be. So yeah, do with that what you will. But I know I'm going to help at least one person today. And that's all that matters. That's all that matters.